Hi everyone, and welcome to the Obscura Undead Weekly Update, your weekly source of goth music news and tour news and band news and all that jazz and anything else we feel like throwing in news. I'm Azzy.
And I'm Mouse. This week we're going to be talking about Merciful Nuns, the Sandman adaptation, and a festival roundup of festivals in North America.
So, talking about Merciful Nuns, they announced the end of their project. Well, at least that's what made the news round. They actually announced the end of their project late last year. They have always wanted to end their project at its natural conclusion, and they decided to after,
10 years?
9 years and 10 albums
yes.
and 2 EPs and 2 live albums. Or no, 6 EPs and 2 live albums. And it's not burnout, it's just the natural conclusion that frontman Seth feels the band has reached.
So, Merciful Nuns is what's left over of Garden of Delight, made up of Arnaud Seth and Jawa Seth, his wife. And I believe there's one other member?
John.
Yes, and so we did get a statement from Arnaud that was posted on his Facebook page.
Yeah, it was part of an interview. And he says,
I can't even say with any degree of certainty whether I'm more fascinated by closure or new beginnings, perhaps both in equal measure. Sorrow and a new dawn, death and life. To my mind, both are all closely related. This time, however, it's different. The severance runs deeper and the motives differ. In just 8 years, we managed to record 10 albums. That was an enormous effort, which perhaps inevitably sucked the band dry. Creativity, after all, is finite if it follows predetermined guidelines. There's always a danger of repetition, and that is something I really want to avoid. And let's be honest, where else could I possibly take the band?
yeah, and I fully support this decision of them just ending the band where they feel the natural conclusion is.
Yeah, it seems like he's reached the farthest that the band could possibly reach.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the best it can be without going that next step of selling out. You know, he's the headliner of major festivals, and I think he's made it. And he's said his message.
Yeah, and I hope that they do something after this. I mean, I really like Merciful Nuns. So they will be playing 4 more shows this year. That's part of their sort of going away. They've already performed a couple, but they are playing Castle Party in Poland, which is a pretty big deal. They are playing
W-Fest.
Is it W-Fest or is it They Fest?
The Fest.
I don't know. And that's in August. And also Dark Ascension in August. And their final show is Autumn Moon. And they marked it on their show as a D. I assume that means Deutschland. They are, because they are a German band.
Yeah.
So
in Germany.
Yeah, and that's on October 19th. So that'll be their absolute final show and your last chance to see them probably ever. So that's a bit sad, but like I said, I respect the decision to end the project before it ends up just, being a husk and they get really, just not into it.
I've seen a lot of bands keep going after they've reached their pinnacle, and then you see this area of decline.
And they're just zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just play the same 2 songs over and over. That's all people want to hear.
We're going to play our 2 hit singles that we've had in the last 15 years at every show for every encore, and people will love us and come out and droves.
And if you're
to
lucky,
see us.
you'll hear that one best song twice in the concert.
Oh, I've been to shows like that. Yeah.
No. Okay.
That's always embarrassing.
That's sad.
All
right. What's next?
Next is Sandman. Yeah,
Give me a treat.
Wrong Sandman.
Oh,
Sorry. So Neil Gaiman's Sandman, which originally was a comic series on Vertigo that they rebooted and re-released multiple times, and for good reason. It's an amazing comic series. I absolutely love it. It's gonna have a television adaptation on Netflix. Cast hasn't been announced yet. The release date hasn't been announced yet. We just know it's going to be on Netflix.
And we know it's going to be the most expensive TV show with DC Entertainment.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what was the second most expensive.
I don't know, but apparently they bought the rights to the show from Warner for also a really hefty sum. I think I saw a price tag of like $500 million. That can't be right, but it was an extraordinary amount of money.
I would like to see an animated version of this. I don't really want to see live actors.
I think it's going to be live action.
I know, and that's kind of what I'm fearing, but I mean,
But
maybe it'll be good.
But you know it's going to be good. Neil Gaiman is going to be an executive producer on it. He's also co-writing the first episode, and like his episodes, what he writes for television is amazing. He wrote some episodes for Doctor Who that are like my absolute favorite episodes. Also, he has some other really successful television adaptations. So he has Good Omens,
American Gods,
and he has some really strong movie adaptations too. Okay. Coraline, Stardust.
Oh, love Coraline.
He has a lot of really solid adaptation experience under his belt, and I have really high hopes, especially with him being executive producer on it.
Okay.
And you know, I kind of figure that Netflix wants to put out a Neil Gaiman series of some kind after, you know, thousands of Christian protesters sent them emails to have them remove Good Omens from their platform.
I think Good Omens was on
it was on Amazon.
Oh.
They got the platform wrong. They were just like, it's streaming online. It must be Netflix. Shame on you, Netflix.
That's great.
So Netflix put out a statement, okay, we won't make any more. Just like...
Trolls.
God, it's so fucking stupid. So this was a fun announcement, and of course tinfoil hatting. It's only because all the people got really mad about Good Omens.
I'm looking forward to seeing how they cast Delirium. I know everybody loves Death.
Delirium's so cute though.
I know, and I
want to know how they cast her goldfish. That's the most important thing to me.
Did you know that Neil Gaiman? I don't know if this is true or not. It might be a rumor. But one of the ideas he had for Delirium's look was based on Tori Amos.
Yeah, no,
her attitude.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Okay, good. All right. Didn't know if it was just a...
Yeah, apparently they're very good friends.
Yes.
They started... I think the story goes that they started writing each other because, like, she was a huge fan of his, and he was a huge fan of hers, and they found out about it, and they just, like, geeked out with each other.
Yeah, and he's mentioned in definitely one of her songs. Oh.
Yeah. And I think that he wrote, I can't remember which book of it that he wrote, but I think that he wrote one of his, like, novels in Tori Amos's home. Like, he just lived there and wrote. So.
I think I had heard that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, still looking forward to it.
I can't wait for more news on this.
Binge-worthy TV.
Binge-worthy TV. All TV is binge-worthy if you do it right.
All Netflix TV is binge-worthy.
Except for the crap that's not.
Ah, no! I watch it anyway. They know what's up. They know their audience.
Yeah, well, we do know release dates for the festivals that are coming up in the U.S. later this year. And there's some good ones. There's, oh gosh, what is it, 5? 4? I think it might be 4, but...
No, 5. There's 5 if you count the one in Tampa.
I am counting the one in Tampa.
Oh my gosh, okay, so we have 5 festivals coming up this year.
In the U.S. that people can go to, and it's not just like on the West Coast or the East Coast. There's some stuff in Texas, but there is quite a bit, and it spans from the end of August into the beginning of October.
So, A Murder of Crows Festival 5, number 5, which is amazing. August 31st, that of course is in Brooklyn, New York. Bunch of bands on it, which I can't tell because their poster sucks.
I love their poster, like the
Really?
compass with the things around it. They have a different image. I know that they changed it. But...
I would like to be able to read the poster, but I see Ashcode and Kaylin Mikla, Blacklist, Twin Tribes. I thought Twin Tribes and Cruel Eyes were already there last year.
Who cares? They're awesome.
Yeah, because they're coming to Absolution Fest. So we have them last year at Murder of Crows. Then coming to Absolution. No. Doing Murder of Crows again and then doing Absolution. So Sombra will be there as well.
Yeah, he's getting around to the festivals. Brandon, and I wish I knew the rest of his band members' names. I actually feel kind of bad about that. Oops. And then on September 12th is Near Dark Fest in Oakland. And Pink Turns Blue is going to be there, along with a bunch of other bands. I believe that the Ire is playing this show.
Totenwald.
Totenwald, Cemetery, Second Still.
Alter de Fey. Chernobyl. There's a band called Chernobyl.
I think they predate the show.
But not the city and the freaking thing that blew up.
I know, but I know how much you love the show.
They're not named after the show, obviously. Oh my god, you and I are gonna have a talk.
Okay. Ooh, Medusa Stare.
I think
there's a lot of death rock on this one.
That would be really cool to see the Ire there.
Oh, why aren't the Ire coming to Absolution Fest again?
I don't know. You should contact them and ask them. They can come for an unofficial day the day before.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be neat.
But it's pretty death rock heavy, and that's awesome. And that's going to be in Oakland. The next one, I think it's just a couple of days after that.
Chicago, September 19th. Cold Waves, I don't know which one.
8.
8. Yeah, Cold Waves 8. A lot of industrial, I want to say cold wave music is included, but it's really just a lot of old school industrial and new industrial as well. Pop will Lead Itself, Chem Lab, Nitzareb, How Job, Test Department, Severed Heads, Filter, Pig. Those are the headliners. And then, of course, you have things like Panic Priest, like Varden Sphere, Physical Wash, which is High Functioning Flesh, the guy from High Functioning Flesh.
I don't know these bands.
Shannon Funchness, she's from Light Asylum. Andy Harriman. So I guess that's like cool. A DJ, maybe as a DJ.
Yes, Andy Harriman is a DJ. She's an awesome lady who I admire from afar on Facebook and Twitter.
She was at We've Got to Check In, right?
Yeah, she gave a lecture, a guest talk with a couple of other women on the sort of, what is it, like marginalization of women in industrial and abuse and stuff like that. And she's very outspoken about it, and I have a lot of respect for her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We also have Wingtips,
because they're
Twin
from
Tribes,
Chicago,
and Kaylin Mikla again, adult. And Boot Blacks.
I'm really happy to see Kaylin Mikla getting around, because when they were here, they were just here for 2 shows earlier this year, and it was like 2 really small shows. One of them was like an Icelandic cultural exchange sort of festival.
And then they were in Denver, right?
Yeah, that was the Iceland Air sponsored, like the airline sponsored Iceland
Air concert
exchange.
Wow.
Like show, and yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Random as hell. So I'm happy they're getting around.
Next is the San La Muerte Fest, September 26th in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
So Austin, Texas always has a lot going on.
Sun Sombra is going to be there again. 1919 is going to be there.
Diavol Strain.
So Diavol Strain, this is a really cool story. They are in the U.S. Touring. They're from Chile, and their government's Department of like Arts and Culture or something actually sponsored them to come to the U.S. and play goth rock for us.
Were they more like, please leave our country and go do it over there?
No, I think it's just they got so popular that they were just like, yeah, this is a great idea. Cultural
awesome.
exchange. That's super cool. Lust Era from Puerto Rico.
Rose Garden Funeral Party, also from Texas. Oh, I guess all the Texas bands are there.
Is Twin Tribes there?
No. I guess because, well, I mean, there's a lot going on in the fall, so they're probably still going to be touring somewhere else.
Trash Light too? Oh, I love Trash Light.
I don't know Trash Light, but that is an amazing name, and I would love to check them out.
You would love their album covers.
Yeah!
Yeah. And last,
but not least, here in Florida, we're going to be hosting Absolution Fest. We're actually in Tampa.
Tampa specifically.
So really looking forward to this. It'll be October 3rd and October 4th. We have like 12 bands coming down over 2 days. Assemblage 23, Actors, Ritual Howls,
Twin Tribes, True Lies,
Wingtips, Panic Priest,
Boot Blacks,
and Push Button Press.
Isn't Corrine playing too?
Yes.
And Sleeping Pills?
Yes.
Sleeping Pills, who you may not have heard of, is a post-punk local Tampa band, or post-punk Tampa local band. And I wish they had better promo because they're actually really good.
They're actually, this just in, they are going to be playing the She Passed Away concert here in Tampa on July 19th instead of Passages.
Oh.
Yeah, Passages
I'm a little
is
bummed
not
out
able
about
to
that.
make it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because I've seen Sleeping Pills. I would have loved to see Passages. Oh well, at least they're good. So I can't complain about that. Wish someone told me I'm DJing that event.
Sorry, I read it online.
Wow, I just suck. God damn it.
All right.
Who else is playing?
No, I think that's everybody. Except for, the DJs, Winters, Azzy. Who's this Azzy chick? I'm spinning, and Jet, Mike.
Yeah. Mouse and I are spinning on different days. So I'm spinning on Friday, and you're spinning on Saturday. So we won't spin together for once. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually really looking forward to Absolution Fest.
Me too.
I really hope that it becomes an annual thing.
So if you're coming into town, do let us know.
Or come into town specifically for it. And let us know.
Or come into town specifically for us and just come visit us.
Yeah, there's some folks doing that. I mean, they're also coming for the bands, but
stay for us.
Yeah, because we have friends. We have friends.
We're fun.
Sometimes.
We're cooler than we look.
Yeah, it's true. Because we don't drink on camera.
I did. There was a part where you were talking and I was just like... Sorry.
Perfect. So if anyone ever tells you that there are no good goth festivals, or no festivals that actually play goth in the US, you show them our video.
You would be wrong.
Because they would be wrong and you would be right because you are informed and watch our content.
Yes.
Damn it.
And we give you all the news.
All of it. And that was actually it for the news. We have a really slow news week, which is actually really nice because we only had one band breakup. Whereas I feel like we've been reporting several every week.
Bands that have broken up this week. That's just our segment. Bands that have broken up this week.
They're breaking my heart is what they're breaking.
I'm telling you, it's like there's a revolution going on and the band has to decide, are we gonna go into it? Are we gonna make this new chapter? Or are we gonna call it quits? I honestly don't think any band should ever call it quits. They should just, not put out albums for like 4 years because you never know how you're gonna feel.
That's true. Also, sometimes it happens where, like, you work with someone and it turns out, oh, fuck, I can't work with this person. That's what happened with a couple of the bands we talked about.
But then you could always pick up with a different dude and keep the band going. I mean, especially if the band is your vision. There are bands that haven't put out anything in, like, 15 years, and then they'll put out an album. Because you're still a creative person. It doesn't go away.
That's true. I agree with that. Thank you.
Crayons don't work, use markers.
What? I've never heard that. Is that a saying?
Yeah, I just said it. So
I'm gonna print that on a t-shirt. If crayons don't work, use markers.
Like, you're a creative person, It doesn't go away. And sometimes people have trouble with the medium that they're using, and sometimes they just feel better using something else.
You're actually making me feel a lot better about the band breakups lately. So, thank you, because I've been really beaten up about it.
My advice is just don't break up.
Just don't break up.
Just don't break up. Don't be stupid.
So that actually leads us into our what to look forward to / what we forgot to tell you about on the last video, because we don't know, stuff gets released. So the first one I've had that I want to tell you about, and I'm going to take a little long to say it, I'm sorry, but you should know about it, is a band called A Cloud of Ravens. They are out of New York City. They haven't put out much except for 2 EPs this year, but they released it's a 3-track EP, Sacred Hearts, on June 11th, and I really love it. It's like good old gothy darkwave.
I have to go listen to it.
You should. It's great. I recommend it.
I thought that the band was called Sacred Hearts, the way that it was written on the release cover.
Oh, yeah. No. I get why you would think that.
Okay. Unquiet Grave, which is a
It's on Cleopatra.
Is it Cleopatra?
Yeah, it's Cleopatra. It is their 20th anniversary or something like this of the first Unquiet Grave. And I think it's like 28 songs versus, I think the original Unquiet Grave had like 1,000.
No, it was like 100.
I feel like it was 1,000.
They had several different compilations.
They did. They had a bunch of
Unquiet
Grave compilations.
And I feel like there was one time where somebody like compiled all of them.
Yeah, on like iTunes, because that's where I bought it.
But that was just like the 10 compilations with the 100 songs each.
Yeah, it's like 1,000.
No, but it wasn't like they released one compilation with 1,000 songs, because that would be unbearable.
It was a compilation of compilations.
And you actually tried to dig through that, didn't you?
I've listened to the entire thing several times. And I'll admit a lot of it I don't like, but there's a lot of great stuff on there.
But when you're listening to 1,000 songs all in one sitting, there's going to be a lot that you don't like.
Well, they did tend to group similar things together. So, you know, that helped.
I would never subject myself to that.
Anyway. Dilk!
Like a dill pickle, but...
No, Dilk. Dilk. Get it right. It's funnier with the K. K sounds are funny. Released their debut EP, Dilk! On June 21st.
I like Dilk. I drink it every morning.
Gross.
Oh my god. Can we cut that out?
Are we just looking at the camera and going, gross?
No, I was like, I have Dilk every morning. It just sounds so wrong.
It does.
Okay, no more jokes. They're probably a really good band.
I liked it.
Okay.
I like Dilk.
Painted Mirror has a release called Slow Tide that came out on June 28th.
Shadow Assembly released their debut album Ghost Crawl on June 30th. If you listen through it, you may recognize the title track, Ghost Crawl, because of instrumental versions plays under
right
our
now.
videos. So,
ooh, and
something to check out.
Hapax or Hapax. I have no idea how you say this band.
I say Hapax.
Hapax?
Hapax.
I'm gonna go back to saying Hapax then.
All right.
That came out June 30th.
Monade.
Oh, really? I thought you were spelled Monday wrong.
No, that was called Monade.
I thought you were like,
Unless
came
it's
out
Monade.
Monday. Monade, like lemonade.
Sure. And then finally, Grey Gallows released a new single, Nothing Will Remain. Well, there's actually 2 tracks on the single, but whatever.
When it.
Oh, no, but I want it now.
Yeah.
I love Grey Gallows.
They need to put out that album.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Good stuff. All right, let's talk about our giveaway. So we were giving away, and still are giving away, 2 copies of Push Button Press's sophomore album, Spectacle 1. And we asked you who would win in a Battle Royale bat fight between Susie Sue, Peter Murphy, Andrew Eldritch, and,
It was just those 3.
no, it was 4.
Susie Sue, Peter Murphy, Robert Smith.
Robert Smith! I always forget, because he usually sits in the corner and mopes.
That's how it should be. He sits in the corner and eats chips and is like, fight amongst yourselves.
It's just like, cats. Love cats.
Love cats. Cats are great.
So we have
some sizable comments here.
we have some essays and we love it. Thank you.
So maybe we can read these. And is this one?
That's 1.
Oh, Jesus, Dia. Okay, so do we just start knocking them out?
Yeah, let's.
All right, settle in, get your wine. We're gonna read this comment, and it's kind of like a story.
They're all stories and they're amazing.
So Adam Ken Venner says, "Bat fight.
Bat fight.
I was imagining the 4 of them standing on a volcanic island, each standing on his or her own column while surrounded by a gap that falls into deep lava. Susie Sue sings Spellbound, which creates 40 bats out of thin air, and they fly around her as she sings. This doesn't get them to safety, so Robert Smith sings 100 Years, which creates another 40 bats, but they flicker like lightning, remaining invisible most of the time. The lava rises a bit, which causes the 4 of them to realize that they each need to get off the column before they burn to death. Peter Murphy winks at Robert Smith, and then he sings Double Dare. 40 bats appear and they fly downwards beneath all of them, and they just fly above the lava surface to entice them all.
That's 120 bats.
Also, each of their columns start to sway as the lava gets higher. Then Andrew Eldritch realizes that nobody is going to survive, so he starts to sing this corrosion. No bats are created. And his column collapses to the side and into the lava with him. This creates turbulence for the other 3 columns, which knocks down Robert Smith, followed by Susie Sue. Realizing that he will not speak to the other 3 again, Peter Murphy sings Small Talk Stinks to celebrate his survival through the bat fight. But then, just suddenly, his column swayed to the right and knocked him off his feet, nearly throwing him into the lava. Struggling to get back on his feet, he hears Lisa Gerard's voice humming in the distance, and then she appears out of thin air, dressed in a toga and floating across from him. He screams to her for help as his column gradually sinks downwards. She dissipates, and after his column sunk most of the way, now only a couple of feet away from the lava, he hears Nick Holmes' voice in the background growling, "Where is your god now?"
No one wins.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much, Adam.
Ooh, that was good.
All right, you want to try this?
I'm going to read the next one. From Acid Bitter. Gothic Battle Royale thoughts. First, if recent you got brown girl makeup all over the paper.
My skin is brown, I'm sorry.
First, if recent history is any indication of how this could go down, I could see Godfather of Goth Peter Murphy canceling the first showdown.
Yes.
And failing to show up for round 2, which is a forfeit if you ask me. I agree. As for Robert Smith, I don't think someone who starts an album with, "It doesn't matter if we all die," has the right attitude to come out on top in a fight where winner takes all. Now, I hate to do a second forfeit, but what are the chances that Andrew not Goth Eldritch actually shows up to a Goth anything?
Oh.
Even if you lured him there with the promise of free fog machines, I just don't see him, or anyone, beating Susie, who we all know ain't afraid to grab you by the legs and throw you down some freaking stairs. Just crown her now and be done with it.
Good answer. Great. Thank you, Acid Bitter. Oh my gosh. Beth Rozoth. By the way, I usually don't answer those because, to be honest, I usually have what you're giving away and I want someone else to get it. This week, I don't have what you're giving away, so here it goes. My pick for the winner of the battle is Susie. She wins by way of some spiked clothing she has from her punk days. The only way Robert wins is if he uses his guitar as a weapon, which I just couldn't see him do. The only way Peter Murphy wins is if he actually turns into a vampire, and for Eldritch to win, someone would have to finally give him the ring, and it would have to be poison spike on it or something. Anyway, keep up the great videos, and thanks for all you do. Thank you, Beth Rizal.
Beth Rizal.
What are we going to do with this?
I'm going to read it.
Oh my god,
I'm going to
sure?
read it.
Oh gosh.
Dia Seculus speculates for the Gothic Showdown. So, for this Gothic Showdown, I picture them all gathering at a cemetery, maybe to mourn the late Roz Williams on the 25th year since his passing, 2023. Or perhaps someone who hasn't passed yet, but I don't want to jinx anyone. Well, that's nice. An argument erupts at this solemn occasion, possibly Eldritch insisting he shouldn't even be there, he's not even Goth. Peter Murphy tries to get him to settle down, claiming he managed to make it despite his mysterious health condition and that Eldritch has no right to complain. Wow, a little bit of hate here. Eldritch gets up to leave, and Murphy touches his arm and tries telling him to sit down. Enraged, Eldritch shoves Murphy and he falls over in his chair. The other Goths attending the memorial begin to scatter, some taking off into the cemetery, others forming a circle of pikes around the two combatants. Peter, getting up, flips open his butterfly knife and screams, "I'm gonna cut you up, Eldritch!" Eldritch picks up one of the folding chairs to defend himself. "You should just learn to walk away." Peter lunges forward only to miss as Eldritch hits him in the side with the folding chair, making up for his shorter arm reach. As Peter wheels about, he gets caught squarely in the face with the folding chair again and is knocked backwards and falls on his ass, having tripped up among the other chairs. Susie, in the crowd, steps forth and shouts, "Eldritch, you're nothing but a man-child! It figures it's trouble you'd blow. You're just a child not long for this world." She then points and barks, "Robert, disintegration attack!"
Yes!
Robert Smith sneers, "This will be your last dance, Andrew," and charges forth. Andrew, just catching wind that there is a new challenger, turns around and manages to brace himself, holding the folding chair like a shield as Robert charges into it headfirst, injuring himself. Andrew staggers through and trips over Murphy, who was just starting to get up again. Susie runs forth to check on Robert. Andrew appears to be crawling away but grabs Peter's knife. As Susie is helping Robert up, Andrew throws the knife at Susie but hits Robert.
His hair?
He looks at her and manages to say, "At least you missed the girl." As
Oh!
he slumps back down onto the ground, Susie, upset, screams a prolonged, "Pluto drive!" as she punches him in the face so hard his cowboy hat goes flying. Pleading, Andrew says, "The damage is done. Someone call Dr. Jeep." Clearly losing his senses. Susie, with fury eyes, stands over him. "It's killing time, and I'm your exterminating angel." She pulls out a little black derringer and with finality says, "It's time someone put you under the gun." And she pulls the trigger, finishing off Eldridge. She then collects the wounded Robert Smith, carrying him princess style. Murphy is still hurting and ignored by everyone. Says to himself that he should have had Curse Mackey fill in for him.
Oh, snap. The end.
The end. The end.
Thank you, Dia. Ah, one more from Rodin 1334. Susie is definitely the one who would win. Just one swing of the arm that carries her eyeshadow kit.
Y'all love Susie. Apparently Susie is the
clear winner.
Susie is the winner.
I had said as much.
I should send her a copy of the album.
You should send her a copy of all of these comments.
It's just like, hey, you may not like us goths, but we think you're pretty fly.
We should tag every single person, including Curse Mackey.
Aw.
So, how are we gonna pick the winner?
This is a really, really hard one.
I will. Should I give some votes?
Yeah, whose did you like the best?
I did appreciate as runner-up Dia Siculus, because of all the amazing references in there.
All the references were pretty great.
And the shout out to Curse Mackey, that was amazing. It was terribly long.
I like Adams. I like that nobody won.
I like Adams because nobody won, and there is lava.
Oh, the floor is lava.
And also, shout out to Lisa Gerard.
Shit, yeah. I think that I have to say that those were my favorite two as well.
I think it should be Adam, even though Susie doesn't win.
Yeah, even though Susie doesn't win, that's okay. I'm glad that you're the nonconformist.
I personally think Susie will win, just using her eye makeup alone. It's pretty sharp.
I don't know. Peter Murphy's cheekbones are pretty sharp.
Yeah, but he's not even there.
I think that's been established.
He doesn't show up. Neither does Andrew Eldridge, and Robert just sits in a chair and watches. So, all right. Let's declare Adam Convener
and Dia Siculus the winners. Jesse.
Oh yeah, is it? It's like
cha. So we'll be in contact with you. Or Adam, if you're watching this, and you can just message us on Facebook. That would be great. Same thing with you, Dia. God, we suck at this. But that's it for this week's update. As always, a big thank you to our patrons. You guys, really do make this possible. So, thank you to Demetria, who is a new one.
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Demetria. Thank you to Tiffany.
Thank you to Max Shrek.
Yeah, that's a great name. I'm going to do that every single time. Thank you, The Count.
Thank you, Libby.
Thank you, Dia Siculus.
And Dreaming Noctis.
Thank you, Dave Zoiser.
Thank you, Junkyard Bat.
Thank you, Mason Shiver.
Thank you, Beth Rizzoff.
Thank you, Cadaver Kelly.
Thank you, Acid Bitter.
And thank you, Skull Girdle. Last but not least.
Last but not least. And we really do appreciate all your donations go back into the show. And keep us being awesome, because you guys are awesome. Yeah, that's it for this week. If you liked this episode, go check out our other episodes coming out later this week, as it is hopefully in the future Sunday. So we'll see you then. Bye. Love you.
Jazzy.